You're listening to Off the Card, an action figure podcast, a show about action figures by kids trapped in the bodies of grown men. And here they are, Billy Cooper and Eric Murphy.
Thank you, Producer Paul, for the nice welcome. And in the introduction, we're back. Finally, life happens. Welcome to the Off the Card podcast. This is Billy speaking, and joining me as always is my co-host Eric. What's up, man?
Not much.
Well, we're back after life and COVID and conventions and promotion and everything else. We're alive, yay!
Yeah,
we're alive. I know I'm hearing some people boo and hiss out there, and I'm good. So it means we're doing something right. So I'm going to do a quick breakdown. We haven't got a chance to do anything. You guys probably seen some pictures on social media through the Off the Card podcast socials. Me and Kristen, one of my cohorts with the Indiana Toy Comic Expo and ITCE Productions, we went out to Columbus and we experienced PowerCon. PowerCon, long-running show, based out of California, brought it home to Columbus, Ohio. And it's predominantly a Masters of the Universe convention. It was still probably about 75% Motu, but there was a bunch of other stuff there. Had a great time. It wasn't a huge show. It was very well attended, though. Top notch. Just really quality. Like, you could tell, like, these guys, whoever's in charge of it is really doing this thing right. I got to sit and talk with Danny, Pixel Dan, for a while, friend of the show, a friend of the ITCE. I got to meet Shartimus Prime, which was really, really cool. Super, super nice guy. Your brother gave him drugs. I mean, just joking. He gave him some headache medicine, but it was still funny. It was still funny. Really super nice guy. It was cool to see those guys in person and not through like the lens of YouTube, if that makes sense.
actually, as people, not as like a personality.
People, yeah, as folks, like, chatting about stuff. And he complimented. He's seen my tattoo. And he really dug that, my Galactus arm piece. And I got to talk to this at Shartimus. I got to talk to Dan Larson from Toy Galaxy. I think they've
I've been getting into their show and more and more and more.
It's, man, in person, that is exactly what you see on. It's great. He is so dry. He's like talking to him's like talking to a damn professor. I was like, when I was done, I was like, so am I going to get my grade changed? That's what I felt like talking. Who else did I get to meet? I got to meet Robo from the Fwoosh. Robo and the other guy, Veebs. Yeah, they had their toys out there that they're coming out with. They're putting out a line of skeleton figures. It had like this pumpkin head. You probably seen the pictures.
I think I've seen them. Yeah,
I went completely gaga over them because I'm a huge mark when it comes to like any type of figure that has a pumpkin head on it. I'm like, oh man, they're putting out a Fortnite figure that's got this that pumpkin or pump or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't care what it is. I want it because it's a pumpkin. So anyway, got to talk to all of them. Got to talk to awesome vendors. Again, the show was probably at 75% Motu, but man, I got to talk to the guy, I forget his name. I'm not even going to try to remember it. He is starting a new toy line called Savage Crucible. Oh my God, they're amazing. They are very much in line with like Mythic Legions, what the Four Horsemen's doing. Very high fantasy, like Cthulhu cultist and werewolves and armor, and I'm like, okay, I'm completely sucked in. I set in on Jason from Spiro, a friend of the show. I got to sit in on his panel and got to see some of the stuff that he's doing with his 6-inch scale, or the 1/12 scale line, I should say, of the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. really super cool. Got to see some of the toy line from Fromo Toys. I believe they're foreign. I don't know where they're from, but they're like He-Man-esque looking figures.
Okay.
Amazing stuff. That was, I think, the part of PowerCon that I dug the most, that we've always tried to do with ITCE, is to bring those type of toy manufacturers in. So you can look and see, like, this is what a prototype looks like. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is before it gets all the paint and production. And this is the joints that we're playing with. And we're trying to hide articulation behind armor and things like that. It was really cool to have that access to them. I got to talk to some of the Four Horsemen, Mythic Legions, got a bunch of pictures from some of their stuff. Again, I think that, again, was the draw for me. I got to talk to Randy from NECA. He was there. I got to look at some of the NECA stuff. You guys seen pictures. They had, like, Alf. The package sample for Alf was there. A bunch of other stuff. They debuted the new Motu mask that they're doing with costumes.com.
Yeah, those classic 70s and 80s wave costumes.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Again, awesome vendors. I bought a lot of crap. But it was cool, like I said, to get to see and talk to the guys that make these toys. I think that was the biggest draw for me anyway, to why I wanted to go, is meet the YouTubers and everything. Now, I will say this. I'm gonna wrap up PowerCon. I loved it. I'm going back every year. For me, it's a yearly convention. I will travel over and I will do all 3 days next year. Not even a question about it. But I will say this. Had a very interesting situation with I would probably make him a C-list toy YouTuber. And it kind of really dawned on me that you got to separate your the artist from the art. So the person you see on YouTube is this guy that's so gung-ho and so awesome and just so supportive of everybody. And then when you meet him in a Starbucks and he's a giant freaking cocksmith, it really hits you. You're like, oh,
yeah,
you're a dick.
Yeah, it's that. You hear stories all the time, musicians, actors, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
In front of the lens or behind the microphone, they're goodwill ambassadors, but catch them in a lobby of a hotel and see how their attitude is.
This guy was a giant freaking just a dick, a huge dick.
Yeah,
I was just standing in line. Me and Chris was just standing in line in Starbucks. I need some flipping coffee. I'm getting grumpy. I've been up for a couple hours and hadn't had my caffeine. Now that I'm nicotine free, I need my caffeine. And I look back. I'm like, oh, that's that guy. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to justify the prick. I'm not even, by even uttering his name. I look back and I say, hey, man, I really like your stuff on YouTube, man. I really do. Your collection's cool, and I like what you do. And he goes, yeah. And it's kind of just bobbed his head. No earphones in, no nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't bothering him.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a few minutes, we're there in the show, we're waiting to go in. And anyway, as we get in there, him and his crew of like 5 or 6 other hang-ons are all running around, and they're all the same flat bill wearing. This is dope. This is so lit. I'm like, dude, you're just regurgitating whatever fucking MTV tells you to do. It was very unnerving. Look, I'll chalk it up as this. Maybe it was me not having my coffee. Maybe it was him being a fucking... Paul's going to have fun with this video.
Yeah.
I just don't care. Anyway, yeah.
No, I've had the same interaction with people where, I've talked to them. I mean, we'll get into Indiana Toy Comic Expo, and we had Rival Showdown there as an independent wrestling company. It always promotes their shows, and we do likewise with them. And they brought with them a WWE wrestler. Now he's a business owner, but Al Snow. And like Al Snow, met him for 30 seconds, talked to him and his wife. He's very quiet, but he's very polite, very nice.
Very polite. Yes.
And and I've had interactions like that before, and a lot of times, and I've met from the bottom of the barrel of a horror actor all the way up to I've literally spent the afternoon talking to Metallica. You can tell me all day Lars is a prick. That was the nicest guy that I've ever met.
Yep.
On the other end of it, I've met actors that were big in 2 or 3 movies in the 1980s and have a chip on their shoulder and have a bad attitude, and you're inconveniencing them with your time. So, I mean, it's just, it's sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I mean, I had no ambition to meet this guy. I just looked over.
You complimented a guy for his work, and
and I appreciate his work. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that when I sat down outside that convention and pulled my phone up and unsubscribed to his shit. I'll be 100% honest with you, because at this point,
because at that point it's like, wow, it's like, okay, well, that's
you can't even say thank you. You're just like, whatever. Yeah. Anyway. So on to ITCE. Yes, Rival Showdown was there. We had a great time with those guys. They brought in Al Snow. Al was super nice. I've had interactions with him at their shows before. Yeah. And he's a super nice guy, just salt of the earth. You're right, very quiet, but very, But look, we've interacted with him together as a wrestler. We've interacted with Danhausen. That dude's the nicest guy on the face of the flipping planet. But anyway, a lot of good times. We show record numbers at ITCE this year. That place was freaking packed. We did really awesome. A lot of vendors did I think all vendors did really awesome. Even the ones that were grumpy and didn't want to be awesome did awesome. Great time. Top to bottom, there are some things that I'm going to change that we're kind of kicking around in the background to figure out what the hell's going on with things. Either we change it or we kill it. I'm in the favor of just taking it out back and killing it. But we'll disclose all that stuff down the road.
We've in the coming weeks after, because I work in the Bloomington area and stuff like that. I've been asking for people's feedback. We would put feedback out online saying, hey, and if anybody can hear this, if you have feedback, if there's something you want to see that you will enjoy or something that you saw that you didn't enjoy, speak up. We can either add something or subtract something, or I've already got people that's came to me about, I've had a few new, because we do food trucks at my work, and a couple of them heard of the show after the fact. They want to get involved. I've had people give feedback on the food trucks themselves, so we're getting all kinds of feedback.
Absolutely.
Saying, hey, there's one girl, she has a burger truck called Bloomburger, and I tried her food out a couple of weeks ago after the Monday after the toy show, and stuff's amazing, real well priced, and she gave me her business card. She's like, I've heard about the show, I want to get involved. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So
say, I know a guy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we can accommodate. We want to change it up every year. Don't want to have the same thing out there every single time. So variety is always good.
I reached out to our special guest. We had Peter Gorel, also known as Killer Bootlegs, creator of the Phantom Star Killer, Count Draco Knuckle Duster, amongst other things. Fantastic toy creator, awesome guy. Reached out to him. He said he had a great time, loved meeting everybody. We'll look to have Peter back down the road. Marty Hansen, with also known AKA as the God Beast. God Beast does all the bunch of Glio stuff. Had a killer time. The figure contest was huge. We had more entrants into the figure contest than we did the cosplay contest. Granted, the room wasn't as packed with the looky-loos, but we're going to change that. So anyway, there's just little things like that. The auction did really well. We got to get a check and cut that and get that over to them. It was a good time. None of us, we had no issues this year, right? I mean, that I seen. I would know. I think.
No, I mean, we had very little issues. I'd say a 1.5 issue out of all. I'd say half because Alan, manager for Game World, had me spooked for a minute because he thought something gotten taken from his table, but come find out the store that he picked up the stuff from to bring it forgot to put it in the box. False alarm. I'd rather err on that side of. Other than that, I had some people that had a few issues with the auction at the end, which, we'll fix later, as far as like the last couple of minutes, people wanting to helicopter over the papers and not wanting to come off of it. Yeah, we'll crack the code on that for next year, so we won't have that. But other than that, no, I because I've been dealing with security stuff for several shows now.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't had any issues. Nobody getting an attitude. Nobody getting pushy or shovey. Nobody, even with it, we're coming out of COVID. COVID's still a reality. It's still a thing. People seem to, be respectful of each other's spaces. Yes. If people were wearing masks, there wasn't anybody giving anybody a hard time about wearing them.
No, and that's the one thing I will say that we've always prided ourselves on is the family-esque atmosphere. The with every 3 people coming in, there's probably 2 kids.
Yeah,
on average, and we really hit that number again this year, and we've had no problems with any kids.
No.
And the kids, man, they just go gaga over this stuff, and it's really great. Yeah, man, everyone did really well, and I'm really happy. I really think that people were super stoked to have us back, more stoked than probably we were for being back. And yeah, it went real well. I'm extremely happy with the team, top to bottom. It was a damn good time. Now next year we have to move to October. We'll get to that down the road when I'm a little bit less surly. And I know we got Geek Meet coming in March. We're going to do some promotion on that soon, and we'll get that going. We're almost doubling the size of Geek Meet. So yeah,
and we've just
going to get fun.
And we've discussed the idea of possibly doing another one somewhere down the road. And
I've got some people I got to meet with about that too. So I'd like to end up doing 3 shows, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't have enough free time, So, but other than that, we're going to roll on then. ITCE success, thumbs up, and all you guys, thank you for coming. I did talk to quite a few of you. Haslab debuted their Marvel. Some people are not liking it,
which is crazy. I still don't understand why people don't like it. But
I think a lot of people are scared of the price.
But the price, it's a little high. I mean, that's $5 under the Proton pack that they did, and that Proton pack is quite a bit bigger.
Yes. Well, I mean, looking at the car, and you've looked at this quite a bit. It's an unlicensed car, so they're not paying a license fee, which we thought maybe could have been part of it.
Yeah.
This is the Engine of Vengeance vehicle. This is the muscle car with the Robbie Reyes version of Ghost Rider. I think some people are really upset about that.
That's not Johnny Blaze.
It's not Blaze. It's not Catch. It's not, it's not their Ghost Rider. And I get that, but this is also a definitely more visible Ghost Rider in the mainstream now, in my opinion.
Yeah, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that. And that might be the direction the MCU might go with it.
And I'll be honest with you.
That might be the plane on the horizon.
Well, and there's that as well. And let's be honest, the farther they can get away from that Nicolas Cage, the better. The better it is. The car's cool. I mean, you got a car, you've got like all these flame attachments, glow in the dark tires, the Reyes figure with alternate head or fire or whatever. You got different tools, all kinds of cool stuff. I think it's a really neat vehicle. I do understand 350 is not for everybody, but this isn't for everybody.
I like the scale of the car. If it's 1/16 scale or if it's one,
I mean, it's definitely a 112 scale because of him.
He's a 7-inch figure, so he's got to fit in there comfortably.
Six point whatever. Yeah. But, and he fits in it.
Yeah.
There's pictures of him right here riding in it, holding the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Engine block drops out. Oh, it's got LED lights. That's pretty cool. They're showing the LEDs lighting up the engine and those see-through flamed out tires. That's That's
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's pretty damn wicked myself. Honestly, if I was in a Ghost Rider guy, I would be
Be
about
after
this.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not though. I'm not. But
Yeah.
I think it's cool as hell though. I mean,
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I mean, it's Haslab and they do a Kickstarter. If people, I mean, at the end of the day, when they do the pre-ordering, if they don't hit their numbers, I guess.
yeah, they're saying that they need 9,000, and they're at 3,738, and they have
So
43 days. 43 days, 7 hours, and what? Yeah,
they'll hit it then.
Also, they've shown the possibility of some of the stretch goals. They showed what looks like the silhouette from behind of Mephisto.
Okay, so then they're gonna hit him then.
I think so. I mean, we've never had a Marvel Legends Mephisto figure. The closest we ever had is the one that Diamond selected years
ago.
Yeah, and it's really off the market. It's really expensive. And it came with that throne. It was really cool. So, and I know that's kind of the running joke though. And if you watch any of the MCU stuff, it's like, that girl from She-Hulk made a deal with the demon. Was it Mephisto? You know,
yeah.
Everyone's always constantly trying to bring that guy in. So, good for them. But yeah, 350 is high, and you factor in shipping, you're probably going to need closer to 400 after shipping and tax and everything. Honestly, though, I mean, it's a full size car. I mean, it's to that scale. I don't think it's bad. I think if you throw another couple of figures in there, if it's the stretch goals, you throw in another couple of figures, depending on what they are. If it's like Blackheart, Mephisto, and some guys like that, the guys that
or
have
even
Marvel Legends,
Gen 1 Ghost Rider, the cowboy.
Yeah, the cowboy, something. I think that would be really cool. I think the price gets a whole lot better when you start throwing in those names.
Yeah, that's why I kicked myself for not getting the WWE
the ring,
the newer generation one. The Diesel looked kind of rough, but that Doink.
That Doink's sharp, man. I've seen
Roma's got one for like 125, and I'm like,
I've seen that. I know. I was like, oh man, that's so cool. And that's where, I mean, you get your money's worth on these. I really can't say I've ever seen a Haslab that you don't get your money's worth. I mean, they really do try to give it all the bells and whistles. And I'm not blowing them or kissing their ass or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not in a Marvel Legends apologist by any stretch of the imagination. For everything good they do 5 bad, in my personal opinion.
Yep.
But I do think this is kind of cool. I did read though, and I hate to go this way, me being more of the liberal slant, but they have been people that have brought up, maybe some people are upset because it is a Mexican Ghost Rider. And I'm like, I don't think
I guess they don't like I guess they don't like the Little Mermaid then too.
No, they probably don't like Little Mermaid. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that really. Most people, I have not seen that. And I'm in a lot of toy groups, and I haunt a lot of different websites and things. I've not seen that myself personally, of someone screaming, it's a border crossing Ghost Rider or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you. I think if they're going to do Ghost Rider in the MCU, it's probably going to be this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my 2 cents. But I don't know. I think it's cool. Like I said, if I was a Ghost Rider guy, I would definitely be into that.
After this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I am a Ghost Rider guy to an extent. I'm a cosmic Ghost Rider guy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, and they could, with this Haslab thing, and if it goes over and they hit their quotas, they could use that car again, rebrand it, and clean it up, and do a Haslab Blade. They could add Blade to the stretch goal because they had that Spirit of Vengeance stuff, and they had Ghost Rider in the comics with Blade, I think, at one point, didn't they?
Yeah, probably. I know Blade recently just came out as a comic book version of him with the that line a couple of years ago. The Netflix line they did with Burnfall Punisher and some of those. So, yeah. I don't know, man. That's I wish them luck because is everyone I've seen that's been like putting it down. They've been people that have been praising it and raising it up. So I hope the people that like it get it, and the people that don't like it have to pay crazy, stupid prices when they figure out how cool it is, and they have to go to a secondary market source. So that's where I stand with it. Don't bash it and then later come and try to buy it.
Yeah.
You know. I seen a lot of that with the Java sail barge. For a lot of people, they're so expensive. It's so expensive. It's $1,000. Oh God, I need it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah, you do. Don't, But then again, not to make fun of them, but hey, maybe buyer's remorse. Man, well, not buyer's remorse. Nah, not early adapter or adopter remorse. Hey, I wish I would have got that. I've got extra money now. Now I've got to chase it down.
Was it FOMO? Fear of missing out.
Oh, yes, very much so. All right. Another thing that's kind of came up in the last few weeks that we've been away, but they're kind of recent too. Super 7 with their Ultimates line. They debuted the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, which got some people excited. I'm not a fan myself, but I do appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're doing like a year one version of King Diamond.
I want King Diamond and I want Lemmy.
And the Lemmy. That was another one that looks really great. But another one that caught my attention, probably caught your attention. There's I'm going to mangle the name, the Mars mutant, the part of like kind of Universal monster, but kind of not.
Is it Metaluna? Is it the Metaluna monster from the Silent Earth?
Yeah, there's that one. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to get that because of Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, and then they showed they've got the Count from Nosferatu coming.
Ooh, I might need that one for the Universal.
Yeah, that one caught my attention. I'm like, because I missed the Mezco one, and that Mezco one they've re-released it a couple of
numerous times,
but so salty, man. I'm like. 55, but if you don't get that the Mezco one when it first comes out, I mean, that thing instantly shoots to like hundreds, like bam. And I'm like, I can't do that. So yeah, those look good. I'm shocked that, man, they're really just, I've seen some stuff at online of some video of people that have seen at like D23 because they were showing all their Simpsons Ultimates. And man, the kudos are crying. I'm like, oh God. Those look great. All that stuff, man. They've been doing a fantastic job. They even debuted that they're doing reaction Muppets.
Yes, the electric teeth.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. It's like that line looks great too.
Yep.
And I'm a Super 7, and I'm a dork on Super 7. I'll just be 100% honest. I buy a lot of reaction figures. Probably way more than I should, but those caught me off guard. I've seen some other stuff in D3 that was really cool. Nothing really like super special, but Ultimates, man, from Super 7's definitely got my attention. I wish they weren't $55 a piece.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. Another one that came out that caught me. I don't know. I don't think we've talked about it yet. Is not Ultimates, but Diamond Select. Part of their Marvel Select line has revealed, and I already pre-ordered a couple of them. Better Ray Bill from the latest.
I've seen it
from the latest run of his that he did by Danny Warren Johnson did of him. He's got the big hair, the big headdress. The big look. Oh man, it looks great. I'm really super stoked. Really, really after that one, I got a couple, like I said, pre-ordered, and then. Another line that I don't think we've talked about yet. It's kind of an import. I don't know if it's really a bootleg or not, but I don't know how to take it. I'm calling it the Fury Planet. They did one they call a Crocker, which looks like a giant leatherhead from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Super detailed. It's got the Bowie hat and the gun and everything.
I think I saw that one online too.
Yeah. There is another... I guess it's called like Volume 2 or Number 2. There's another figure in that line called Veteran William, and it's a 1/12 scale giant like commando hillbilly werewolf.
Yeah.
already pre-ordered it. I think it's like $100. I'm like, done. I need this. Super high detailed. We're waiting on that Crocker to get in, which is basically Leatherhead from Ninja Turtles. I think this is the same company that's doing those spring, winter, fall, summer Ninja Turtles, the ones that look like I think it's the same company doing those, so they're all probably going to fit in scale. I'm digging these. Really want them bad. They just look so freaking cool. Have you seen anything new that's kind of came out?
Nothing.
It's been a while.
Nothing really. I mean, I had been trying to keep track of the NECA horror stuff. I know we're getting ready to gear up to get the Dracula. They're starting to put stuff out, like more and more information on it. Invisible Man's the next one after it. On that,
some of the turtle ones have
the turtle ones. The April O'Neil Bride it should be dropping any time. The Target Con stuff that's been kind of rolling through. Mm-hmm. Not very much. I mean, there's been little things that kind of popped up, but nothing worth jumping out after wrestling wise. They got the Greatest Hits series that's dropping. That should be coming out.
I need to find that Bam Bam.
Yep, me too. And I'm after that Elite Series 94 run that has the British Bulldog in it.
You know, I never even seen that one. Is it the Target version of the Legends, the WWE Elite Legends? I never even found that Yokozuna.
No, it's either two things are happening because, and for everybody probably knows, Targets are going through massive remodels right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a clog in the back room to the floor as far as product. I went into the Target in Greenwood a couple weeks ago. They're swimming in Stacy Keibler's and Lex Luger's.
Yep.
You know, and they're just going to, so it's like they hit these weird, like empty spots where it's like, okay, we're not getting anything new coming out, and they're swimming. The Walmarts are real bad about it right now. They went to a massive clearance recently. Tons of product getting clearanced out, but there's still a glut of just stuff, you know. I call it the island of future endeavors of WWE figures because there's not one peg hanger that's still signed to the company, for the exception of Roman Reigns.
I think the Braun Strowman figures have set so long he's came back to the company.
Back around. He actually circled the lap. Yeah. Bray Wyatt's probably going to do the same. But no, it's just the same with, and honestly, and this is a different topic for a different day. You know, AEW, the figures, I was reading an article that, you know, they've spent $25 million on this video game. It doesn't look that good. Apparently they are bleeding money with Jazzwares. They are not making the money that they thought they're going to make with these toys. It's kind of concerning because I've seen prototype photos of Danhausen. There's going to be
Ethan Page.
There's a 2-pack Amazon exclusive. It's going to be Hook and Danhausen together.
Danhausen without his cape, or without his, and there's another one that I want. It's on my radar just because of who he is outside of the wrestling ring. There is the Butcher, which is the
guitar player from As I Lay Dying.
Every time I die.
Every time I die. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, not involved with the murderer one.
Yeah. Not that Tim LaBeouf guy. So I'm with you, man. I've been reading these articles too about the AEW stuff, and it sucks because I mean they've released some really cool stuff. I've seen like they're doing a new Wardlow with the new gear and all that.
Yeah.
And again, I want an Ethan Page because I just like him because he's a toy collector guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting ready to go over. I actually found at the GameStop by me, they have on clearance Hardwood and Wheeler FTR. They're both there on clearance. And I'm like, okay, I got the Pro Rewards. I get an extra discount. So I think I can pick them up for like $10 a piece. So
I'd like to see them
FTR.
I'd like to see them release in like their more up-to-date attire.
This is the older attire, but I may pop them open and put them next to my Jim Cornette. So
there you go.
And he's got toy news on that. He's got 2 new figures coming out through Toy Collector. He's got his Raw debut colors, and he's got this Christmas one.
Yeah, and the Raw debut is the pink one, right?
Yeah, like salmon colored and red. It's when he came out and Bobby Heenan introduced him.
Oh, here's another one. Reaction is releasing Beastie Boys Sabotage.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Figures. God damn.
Yeah, I think I saw that immediately sent to you. I'm like, oh boy.
yeah. I think I queued it up and ran Joy out of the damn front room.
And the bitch of it is that for whatever reason, those reaction music figures are hard as shit to find. I cannot get my hands on Cliff Burton.
No, I believe he was online only.
Yeah, he went quick.
It was two versions.
Yeah, and then Paul Bailoff too.
Yep.
Is getting hard to find.
I pre-ordered over a year ago and finally got them like the weekend of ITCE. I got my Run the Jewels 2-pack. Yeah. My Killer Mike and LP. It was like almost a year, 11 months, I think, that I waited on those. So, those music ones. And I knew when I seen those, I'm like, look, I'm a huge Run the Jewels fan. But I looked at them, I'm like, I can't miss these because I know in the back of my head, I'm like, if I do and I get that FOMO, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm honestly hoping with these 7-inch Ultimates of Lemmy and King Diamond that they'll circle back around. There's never been a legit Cliff made. There was McFarlane Metallica figures made back in the late 90s, but there wasn't ever that. And I'm hoping that the Burton estate, because Ray passed away, his dad, a couple years ago, that they'll do a Super 7 Ultimates figure of Cliff with his Rickenbacker base, because it's also the same type of base Lemmy uses. They could reuse that base.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at that Lemmy figure now.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. It really is. I'm looking at it though. The one thing I kind of wish though is I wish they'd have sprung and gave us the Murder One cabinet.
Yeah, but you're probably a licensing issue with Marshall on that one.
That's true, but I mean, he's got the Rickenbacker base, because I know Funko got in a shitload of trouble.
That was Gibson.
Yeah, over with Gibson, they did not like that. They did not take that well. So.
That was over the Slash Pops.
Yeah,
Gibson's very fickle about their stuff. Like they got into it with somebody. They got into it with I want to say Guitar Hero over licensing issues years ago.
I'm sure. Which I've got a bunch of those those guitar packs that they put out. I've got a bunch of those, and every now and then I'll break them out and give them to my action figures. I've got I think there he is. I've got Andre the Giant up there with a flying V.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. They've been a lot of cool stuff coming out, man. One of them that's got me is I know that they're doing a Diamond Select has got the Disney Afternoon license now. And we've seen some Darkwing Duck stuff kind of teased. That would be really cool if they go deep into that. I would really like to see, because me being of my age, I would really like to see some of that Disney Afternoon stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
On a bigger scale.
Tailspin,
Gummy Bears. I'd like to see a nice freaking Mega Duck figure. I mean, I've got the one that Funko did, not the Pop, but the other ones they did. I've got him there, but I'd like to see a bigger version.
Reboot.
The thing is with that license, the Reboot license is so weird. Because like there was a whole entire series they didn't even release.
They released overseas,
released out of Canada, and it's weird. So I'd like to see those too. Those would be a lot of fun. The one thing I know we're going to kind of tease the next episode. We're going to talk some more Funko talk. I'm noticing something. I don't know if everyone else is noticing it. I'm seeing it dry up.
Yep, they're winding back. I've checked Hot Topics. The shelving units are getting smaller. Walmart, it's getting more and more. It's not getting new stuff. They're just sitting on old. FYE, I just noticed a massive reduction in product. And I've said this for years. For every 3 or 4 pops that you get that sell like wildfire, they're making 10 more stupid ones that nobody has zero interest in, and they don't get, and they becoming just dust collectors. And then they try to clearance them off for like $2 at FYE or Hot Topic. It's been going on forever. And I was like, you guys need to pick and choose a little bit more. I don't need every year when the next primary hits for whoever's going to run for president, they make Funko Pops of them. We don't need them. Yeah. They're making like stupid TV shows that nobody, I
mean, I will say this, devil's advocate, we don't buy them, but
somebody else may.
Somebody may, but is it in enough quantity to justify the license? I think that will potentially be their downfall. Is the amount of license they carry.
Yeah, and my thing is if you're going to do that, that's fine. I wouldn't necessarily carry it in stores. I would put it on whatever TV show or movie merch website. Like, for example, Letterkenny. Letterkenny has a full run out there in stores. Most people, probably Martinsville GameStop has Letterkenny Pops. I could bet you $100 a tenth of that town might know what Letterkenny is, and they probably don't know that there's Pops out there for it. Completely. Just put it on their merch website. Well,
I know there for a long time. They're the last few waves, and I think they're still doing it, is the only way to get some of the Walking Dead stuff is through the Walking Dead store.
Which is fine.
AMC, which makes absolute sense. Cater to your market. Your market, if they're on that website buying clothing or T-shirts, they want the tchotchkes. So, we'll get more in depth with that. It's pretty interesting. I've been watching that stuff, and I've talked to some people in the retail side of things to kind of get an idea of that stuff. I'm liking. It's interesting that some of the stuff that I thought was going to happen is kind of happening. They're not a dead brand by any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely feels like there's some interest waning. We'll get in more into that. Man, anything else? I mean, you pick up anything good recently? I know I picked freaking buying spree.
I picked some stuff here and there. I got that black and white edition Mummy, and then I picked up a Predator 2 Ultimate Edition NECA with all the heads and accessories and whatnot. Picked up the Ultimates Hulk Hogan that just came out, the one it also has the Mr. T that's going to be on the clearance. No, I got it. I think Kristen may have grabbed it for me. I'll probably go back and grab Mr. T because he's already starting to go on clearance because it's Mr. T. Picked up a Rick Steamboat Elite.
Nice.
Yeah. NECA King Kong, the black and white alternate head one, the one that looks more like the maquette puppet. I'm trying to find the accessory for that. Wasn't there a diorama you could put the fucker on that you could stand on and hold the planes?
I don't think so. I thought there was one they actually released.
I thought there was a diorama they put out that you could get that you could actually put Kong on and he stay on top of the Empire State Building and it came with little airplanes he could hold in his hand.
I don't know. This sounds familiar, but maybe, yeah. I mean, look, my whole life's a fever dream. What the hell do I know?
Yeah. And I picked up the 2018 Ultimates Michael Myers NECA.
Yep.
And then at the toy show, I scored. There's a guy, and this is a funny story, crazy story more than anything. I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry if you're listening.
No, that's the guy you got that. I forget his name too, but Beyond Yonder Games is the guy you got.
So this gentleman informed me. I guess he went to an estate sale or something.
Yep.
And came into, I'm going to assume at least 40, maybe more of the Matchbox put out back in the 80s, the pull string Freddy Krueger's in the big blue box, the dolls. And he came across cases, plural, of these craziness. Nowadays, you don't hear about this stuff anymore. Back in the day, you'd hear all these stories of going to a yard sale and granny selling off grandson's collections and stuff. You don't hear this nowadays, but this guy stumbled across this and brought some of them in and cut me a really good deal for it. And I imagine he probably had himself a pretty good day. I know another friend of ours is purchasing quite a few of them for himself, so he wants them. So I mean, it's one of those crazy things. You don't hear these stories anymore because nowadays everybody has Google and they can look up stuff and see what they have in their attic space. So for somebody to be like, "Oh yeah, I got all this stuff," I'll sell it to you for nothing.
For one of my pickups, was a long time coming. Not really long time. I hope Nick doesn't take it that way. So a friend of mine, met through the toy group. He's in the ITCE custom figure contest every year. A gentleman named Nick Wesley. Nick, really super cool guy. We've got to kind of talk back and forth and things. He's a toy guy. He's a customizer. And if anyone knows, I bitched and complained. I ordered my Swamp Thing McFarlane figure. It came in as one of those silver or platinums or whatever the hell he calls them, the platinum editions, the unpainted ones. And it was unpainted. And I'm like, man, I want this thing. If I'm going to have it here, I'm going to get it painted. So I gave it to Nick at the last Geek Meet. I think you were there when I handed it to him.
Yeah.
Well, he brought it back to me at ITCE. And he brought it, and we had talked about what I wanted, and I wanted it to look like the Kenner camo Swamp Thing, neon green, brown limbs. Just my friend Brandon did a Bognar, or a version of his Bognar character the same way. I call it the Andes Mint colorway because it looks like an Andes Mint. So he brought it in, and it's painted. It's awesome. I showed it to everybody at the show. I loved it, and it was just a fantastic piece. That was probably one of the highlights of the show. And then what else did I get? I got some other cool stuff, too. I'm flipping through my phone while we're going through talking about this. I picked up some stuff from Pete Coral, the Phantom Star Killer, the glow-in-the-dark figure. I got one of those. I picked up the 3-pack, the Toonie Terrors, Halloween 3.
Oh yeah, the Silver Shamrock set.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that and those kids. So those are actually opened and on my mantle for Halloween already. What else did I score? Some other stuff. The Roton, your brother Chris picked me up the new Masters of the Universe Origins Roton. I was pretty stoked about that. Haven't broke that out and played with it yet. I'm kind of waiting for a rainy day, I guess. What else did I get? Here we go. Recent pickups for me. Oh my goodness. So this week I went on like a freaking buying spree for some reason. I picked up, damn it. Okay. I'm getting there. Oh, I picked up because of recently watching that damn, Thor movie. I picked up the Goat Boat Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Because I can still hear those goats screaming in my head. I don't know why. It cracked my shit up. I love it. I got to open it up and put it in the office. I got a couple of the Kenobi retro figures. I got Vader and then the Inquisitor and Obi-Wan. I was telling you earlier, we got the Blacklight Frankenstein Walgreens. I got Chuckles, one of the characters, side characters from Trick or Treat. She was a Spirit Halloween exclusive.
Yeah.
Got her. I was pretty happy about that. I found a Trap Jaw Funko on sale for like half price.
Oh, really?
The great big
the
one.
giant one, yeah.
Yeah. So I paid like $16 instead of $30. So
nice.
That was pretty good. And then another guilty pleasure of mine is Funko releases these things every year around this time called Boo Hollow. And Boo Hollow is their blind, box. They're in an orange ball or a plastic ball, kind of like you think about one of those Easter eggs. And it's their own IP. And there's those little cute characters that are Halloween related, and there's chases and stuff. And I try to buy those every year. So I dig those. But other than that, I bought a lot of shit this week, and that's part of it. So I got some good stuff. I'm still unpacking. So,
I know. I got all that stuff sitting over here I need to go through.
Yeah, I got to put stuff up. I bought so much recently that I went and bought like 3 sets of shelves from Home Depot from the basement to add, because I just need to start separating stuff out. Hell, I've got one of those shelves that's like 5 deep or 5 tall and like 2-3 feet deep, just full of nothing but freaking McFarlane DC stuff. So and I need to get through that.
I keep running into that Parallax.
Yeah, it's a good piece, man. Jeremy recently, just a few minutes ago, actually sent me a text. He found one on clearance out. It was beat up. He found it out in like Brazil. So he picked up an extra one just to mess around with. So other than that, man, good times. Good. it's that type of year, man. We're getting close to Halloween. I wouldn't mind doing maybe do an update Halloween episode of some like you know that type of stuff. We'll have to do that soon. People liked the horror movie when we did. So I hope if you guys came out to any conventions or anything recently, you guys had a fun time. If you guys came out to ITCE, I hope you had an awesome time. I talked to a lot of people, a lot of you guys. A lot of people walked by. Hey, man, like the podcast, thumbs up, that type of stuff. That means the world to us. It really does. So keep up, keep letting us know what you want, and we'll record it. Hell, I don't care.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric? You don't care either?
No, I don't. I really don't care. No,
I don't care either.
They throw ideas at me. I'm down. I just actually saw a picture of a rumor that McDonald's may re-release the original buckets October 18th.
Dude, my phone exploded today when that hit. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've got a bunch of them. I mean, like a shitload of them. Doesn't mean I don't want a shitload more.
I may, since I work nights and get off 6:30 in the morning, I think that morning I may stroll through my local McDonald's in Martinsville, see if they are real, and if they are, I may pick up a set.
Oh, I need a set for sure. And I need I love those things. They hold a special place in my heart. We'll have to. A lot of people know me, knows how important those buckets are to me. So love them. But I'd say we wrap it up, man. Joy came in and said, "I've got tacos ready." Taco time. Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. If you guys ever want to hear anything out of us, anything you guys want us to cover, any information, feel free to reach out to us. Let us know. We'll try to cover it. And until then, look, we'll be back sooner rather than later. We actually have free time now. Trust me, we're back. We're back on a regular basis.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Take it easy. See you later.